to Ride is brought to you in part by 866 Law Friend. Ride safe, ride smart. Offices in Palm Harbor.
I've been representing accident victims for nearly a decade, and I've always wanted an office where my clients would feel comfortable and welcome. I'm attorney Fran Hosh, and I've also always been a fighter, never backing down to any insurance company or their attorneys when it comes to representing my clients' rights. Let me deal with the insurance company so you don't have to. If you've been injured in an accident, please call me at 866-LAW-FRAN or log on to lawfran.com.
This is Arlen S., and you're watching Born to Ride.
Thanks for tuning in to Born to Ride TV, the longest-running biker TV show in the world. This week,
it's a Choppertown update with Jeff Hartley and his cool Honda Chopper. Find out about his father-son bonding because of motorcycling. Plus, Bike Week action from Born to Ride Babes, the Cabbage Patch Bike Show, and Adamek Harley-Davidson Super Dealership in St. Augustine. Also, it's the video of the week, the Apocalypse Run 12, thanks to Lowbrow Customs. Then, an exclusive feature interview with James Irwin from Boss Hog Radio, as he sets the record straight about Health Insurance 65 and offers you a free voucher to see the movie Baby Boomer Dilemma. Plus, flowers for Phoebe from attorney Fran Hodge, and much, much more.
Chopper time, chopper time, chopper, chopper, chopper time, chopper time, chopper time, chopper, chopper time, chopper time, chopper time, chopper, chopper time.
Riding out into the open air. The wind rushes over your helmet. Vibrations trigger your adrenaline. Fragments of color catch your eye. Your senses embrace the power of the journey. Welcome to my world. What's yours? Your ride, your pace, your story. Let's ride this May in Tallahassee.
Jeff Hartley from Savannah, Georgia. We got a little Honda here. We come up with the idea of chopping another bike out and have a lot of work tied up in it. We tried to make something that you don't see no more these days. So we took the Honda and just started from one end and went to the other end with it. And she turned out pretty good. I'm really proud of it. It's a 70 motor, a 70 frame. We started with the front end and put a 14 over girder on it. And then we came on back, had a tank designed, and we had it fabbed. And so we chromed it all out. We made the exhaust pipes. We had to make the exhaust. We made the forward controls. We made the chain guard. We made the seat pan, had the seat covered. So it's just a little bit of custom everywhere you look. There's things on this bike that you don't see on a normal bike. No, I don't ride it every day because it's too pretty. But I do ride it. It's a show bike, but we do ride it also. It feels really good. You know, you can kind of sit back and be comfortable with it. It rides good. It handles good. So there's really no problems with it. I got my son with me.
How you doing? My name's Jeff Hartley. I'm out of Miami, Florida. Basically bought a bike a few years back and definitely didn't look like this, and he's been working on it for a few years, and yeah, I'm super proud of what he's done and the award and achievements he's made, and yeah, he's going to keep rocking until he wins them all. Oh, it's awesome, man. I love coming to events like this. I'm grateful my dad invites me, you know.
Well, it feels good, but he came a long ways to be here. He was in Illinois a day ago, so he drove all night and all day just to get here, so that gives me a lot of incentive that he supports me in what I do, because it's a lot of fun, and you know, life's too short not to have a good time in it. Go Chopper Town! Well, it's I've never done it before, but I've really had a good time, and I'm definitely going to be back again, and I'm going to try to follow y'all wherever y'all go close to home where I can be there and participate, because it's a lot of fun being here.
Mono, we appreciate the tank. We won at Chopper Town Live at Thunder by the Bay in Sarasota this year. We will put it on something.
Are you on Medicare or know someone who is? James Irwin, Certified Senior Advisor, is a name you can trust. Avoid being victimized by false Medicare scams and TV commercials. James offers expert advice on Medicare, life insurance, and wealth preservation with thousands of satisfied clients. Call now. Do something you will be thankful for. His service is free of charge with no obligation or judgment. Go to healthinsurance65.com for more information. Are you on Medicare or know someone who is? Call James 833-467-2865.
World's only motorcycle rally on a cruise ship. Free drinks and 13 months to pay. And it sails October 29th through November 5th, 2022. $100 discount per cabin. Use promo code BTR. For more info, go to highseasrally.com. That's the High Seas Rally, October 29th through November 5th, 2022. Don't miss the High Seas Rally.
This featured bike event is provided by attorney Fran Hodge, supporting bikers and charities in our community for over 20 years. Call 866-LAW-FRAN or visit lawfran.com. Gotta have it insurance. We do the work, you save the money. Biker owned and operated. Call 727-446-7735.
Find us on Facebook, Born to Ride TV and magazine, the ultimate multimedia biker experience. Born to Ride is brought to you in part by 866 Law Friend. Ride safe, ride smart. Offices in Palm Harbor.
This featured bike event is provided by attorney Fran Hodge, supporting bikers and charities in our community for over 20 years. Call 866-LAW-FRAN or visit lawfran.com.
I've been representing accident victims for nearly a decade, and I've always wanted an office where my clients would feel comfortable and welcome. I'm attorney Fran Hodge, and I've also always been a fighter, never backing down to any insurance company or their attorneys when it comes to representing my clients' rights. Let me deal with the insurance company so you don't have to. If you've been injured in an accident, please call me at 866-LAW-FRAN or log on to lawfran.com.
Riding out into the open air. The wind rushes over your helmet. Vibrations trigger your adrenaline. Fragments of color catch your eye. Your senses embrace the power of the journey. Welcome to my world. What's yours? Your ride, your pace, your story. Let's ride this May in Tallahassee.
Stay connected with Born to Ride Media. Like and share with your friends on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Let us know you're out there. See more at borntoride.com.
Jeremy Brer. I own Fidelis Automotive, located in Valrico, Florida. We specialize in American and Japanese, European I can get through them, we can get by them, but my main focus and specialized skill set is Toyota, Lexus, Acura, Honda, and all the Americans, Ford, Chevy. I started the repair shop back in 2012, formerly Fidelis Automotive Services of Tampa. I ran it from 2012 to 2015. This I did after I got out of the Marine Corps. I served from 2007 to 2011, Afghan campaign in Marj, Afghanistan. Now I work on everything from your sports car all the way out to your lifted trucks.
Hey guys, we're here. We made it to St. Augustine, Florida, and we came to the one and only great famous place, Adamak Harley-Davidson, Florida. And we're here with the one and only Leanne, the Director of Marketing and Customer Relations, and she's going to tell us a little bit about what goes on in this place. I mean, when I walked through the doors, I was amazed. It's huge. But we came here, and this is like the Taj Mahal. It's a huge Harley-Davidson. They have everything. They even have a lake. And they have a stage, they're gonna have music, they're gonna have a lot of events going on.
Yeah, it's great. We just want to kind of get the word out about our dealership and partner with you guys and all of your customers and your fan base to make sure we're getting that word out there about Adamak Harley-Davidson here in St. Augustine. We are trying to really promote Bike Week here and make it kind of a destination on the map as well, other than Daytona. Give people another option.
Yeah. And traffic doesn't seem as bad at all.
No, not at all.
Nowhere near like Main Street craziness.
Right. This is more of the laid back kind of, when you get tired of the craziness, this is where you come. But we're right up 95. If you're coming from Daytona, you just go north on 95. We're about 45 minutes to an hour north of Daytona. And then if you are coming from the north, you come south on 95. And when you see the Buc-ee's gas station, we are the next exit. Right here, there'll be some outlet mall. And we're right here on State Road 16.
Guys, you got to come here. I'm telling you, it's worth it. Get up, get off that couch. You don't want to miss it. Get on over here, and let me tell you, this is a much better destination. Thank you so much, Leanne.
Thank you very much.
And once again, how can people get here? How can they find you, and what's the number?
I-95, exit 312, right off of I-95. If you're coming north or south, just exit 312. That's on State Road 16.
And what's the phone number for them?
904-831-1931. It's easy to remember. 1931 is the year that we were founded. So.
Zalstra, 32. Born and raised about 10 miles from here in Belmont.
I lived all over, and then I moved here a couple years ago, up to the Ridge. It's a apple farming community, and I build robotic welders for a day job, but I do bikes at night, you know, either for myself or customers or whoever's money's green. Do whatever. I weld plows up, build bikes, do parts. I prefer to do parts than whole bikes, but this is the 12th annual Apocalypse Run. First year it was 4 of us, and the second year it was 12 of us, and now it's 80 to 85 of us. So I feel like 12 years in this industry is a pretty long run for anything, but started out as just choppers, but people get older, have kids. You know, I still try to promote it as a chopper run, but I'm not going to turn anybody away. You know, there's no egos, no attitudes on this run. It's about putting down miles. You know, it's about 550 plus, you know, plus whatever you want to ride while you're up there, which once we get up there, it's not contingent on anybody going anywhere. You can stay at the motel if you want and drink. You know, a lot of people do, but try to take people to see stuff that's up there, because I think that northern Michigan is kind of like an untouched, you know, slice of heaven. I mean, the roads are still good. There's no traffic. There's no anything. It's just like beautiful roads, beautiful riding, nature, you know, whatever you want up there. I think it's different than other events because I think that it's one of the longest actual rides that there is in the U.S. on a run. You know, I see 69-mile rides, 100-mile rides, whatever rides, and this one's, you know, then there's a lot of people just to get here that have already ridden 500 miles. This run particularly is fun for me because, like, I was the young dude forever. Like, I was like the baby. Like, I was 20, and all my friends were older than me, and, like, they taught me stuff, and they were the ones that went on the run. You know, and it's not that way anymore, so I guess the best part for me is, like, those dudes. This is, like, their one thing that they go do a year, you know? They get to go, they hang out with their friends. So where we moved the run to is Strong's, which, like, on most people's phones doesn't even come up. Like, you have to type in Eckerman Corner, which isn't a town, it's just, like, where two highways, like, not even divided highways, just regular highways meet. And all there is a bar with one gas pump, some motels, and then there's like another bar across the street that doesn't want us there, so we don't go there. And there used to be a restaurant, which we used to go to, and it's closed now. So now I pretty much rely on Heather that owns the bar to do everything. Like, she does breakfast for us, she does dinner for us. I take care of her, she's happy, she makes money, she has fun, you know, and she's, I think, like kind of the last spot I can do this run the way it is, you know, like, if she ever, I'm like, where else am I gonna go? Where we can get away with what we do? I mean, it is lawless. Like, if you want to shoot guns, you can. If you want to shoot bottle ride, you want to do burnouts, you want to do wheelies, you know. And I feel like that's kind of pretty rare in this day and age to be able to go do that. You know, anything you want pretty much goes if you're not hurting somebody else. You know, like, you can go endanger yourself all you want. So until you start becoming a danger to anybody else on the run, I'm not gonna step in. You know.
Okay. Oh, it's on there. Well, it's the ground. I'm not worried about it. Is your pad for the weekend?
Yeah, real fixer-upper. That's what I was wondering if there was abandoned.
I'm riding the only bike I have left that I didn't sell that I built 5 years ago. It's a 96-inch generator shovel, 94 horse, 90 foot-pounds. Not practical to ride far at all, but the only bike I built without a sissy bar too, which is super inconvenient because this is my only bike left, so I have everything on the forks, you know, but I still, like, I could have ridden a different bike that's here, but I still want to set a precedent that this is a chopper run, you know, and it's not, I feel like when people say that, it's supposed to be like, you know, I don't want to say that because it's inclusive. I say that because I think that choppers are supposed to reflect people, and they're about being an individual, you know, and I mean, like, it sounds cliche and corny, but like, you know, that, like, I would rather hang out with anybody on a modified bike that they were like proud of that was their own than on a stock bike. You know, like, I don't have anything in common with people that ride stock bikes because you might as well be in anything else. Like, if you're on a Silver Wing or a Road Glide or whatever, a Couch Glide, whatever, like, you know, any bike, it's not the same thing. You know, I still ride every year unless I'm injured, like last year. You know, I still had to make sure the truck was ready, the trailer was ready, because we used to do it without a chase truck, and you can't anymore. Because I'm not gonna leave somebody from 3 states away stranded in the middle of northern Michigan. There's nothing there. Like, you don't get there unless you wanna be there. This isn't like even in Ohio, where you're from, there's people that just pass through there on I-80 or whatever interstate goes through. They're going to New York, they're going to here. In Michigan, we're an island, peninsula, but an island, you know, going east and west. You have no reason to be here unless you want to be here. Like, it's not on the way to anywhere. So, like, if you leave somebody up there, you're like, there's no bike shop, there's no parts, like, you can next day or something maybe. So we do it now, and there's always somebody that doesn't have a bike to ride that's like broke down or whatever, and I kind of like rely on that every year without planning it to be like, well, I'll just wait till the last minute and see who doesn't have a running bike, and then they drive the chase truck. You can still have fun doing that, and it's an important role, you know, like they carry the tools, we got spare parts, we got oil, we got raffle stuff, you know, and that's kind of how the whole thing keeps rolling forward. I don't know, ask me, I guess. Like, you know, I don't have any other social media other than Instagram. That's probably the best way, would just be to direct message me. Like, I try to respond to everybody, you know, and I don't put a lot of information out. I mean, it kind of just speaks for itself. There isn't a lot to it. Like, you describe it to somebody that doesn't know what you're doing. Like, my neighbor walked up and was like, so what are you guys doing? I'm like, well, you know, we ride to the middle of nowhere, and then we ride back. And I mean, like, that is what it is, but I think it's like about the people you meet while you're there. And I mean, it is a party. Like, I'm not gonna like downplay it and say like it's like you're just camping with your buds with a flashlight. Like, it's not. It's like, it gets rowdy up there and people party and shoot guns, light fireworks off and smoke weed and drink beer. But, you know, I think it's more about the people that you meet while you're there doing it. And like, a lot of people don't see the person till they come do it again. You know, because we got people from Canada, Indiana, California, Minnesota, Colorado, you know, etc. There's people from everywhere that come up, and like, it is a little bit humbling because to me, like, nobody comes here, like I said, unless you want to be here. You know, so you go up there, you see the sights. I'll take you to waterfalls, the lake, you know, the largest body of fresh water in the world we can go see. And you're gonna be on like a cool motorcycle with your friends, and it'll be fun.
Wildwood Antique Mall's 3 amazing locations in Florida to find your treasures: Vero Beach, Eustis, Wildwood. More than just antiques, tons of rare collectibles, toys, books, vintage furniture, records, jewelry, and so much more. Open 7 days a week. Great staff, clean, and air-conditioned. A great shopping pleasure for the whole family. Put it on your bucket list because it's a must-see at these 3 locations. For more information, wildwoodantiquemalls.com.
This is great. So, James Irwin from Healthcare 65, 2 weeks ago he called in and we left him on hold and forgot him. Last week he called in, we couldn't get a radio-to-radio transmission going. So this week we said, just get in the hot seat.
Bring him into the studio.
He's
just
in Miami.
drag him into
He's not in the hot seat. What the heck is with this guy? We cannot get him on the air. Uh-oh, here he comes. We did it. Yay! Round of applause. We were just saying it's been challenging to get you in here. We've had some mishaps over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, no, I'm glad to be here. Good. Well, the Baby Boomer Dilemma, it's going to be showing in theaters and coming up in probably 3 or 4 months. You may have heard some other advertisements about it. If people call me and if they want to see it before waiting till it's in a theater, I can give them a free streaming pass, which will save them $29 because that's what it costs if you want to watch it online right now. So I'm happy to do that, but it's a fantastic film. It features the nation's top economic minds on retirement income, and it talks about really the retirement experiment that really everybody's in right now. As far as that goes, it has Nobel Prize winners, the people, the government officials who invented the 401k, and it's very informative. It's not a snooze. It's exciting. And everyone who's seen it that I'm aware of has really come away with, just thoughts in their head like, I didn't know that, or maybe I should reconsider this or reconsider that. So it's well worth seeing. And if anybody wants to see it, they can see it for free. And
how do they do that?
Well, all they have to do is give me a call. It's toll free, 833-467-2865.
And they get a voucher and they can watch from their home.
Yeah, that's it. They call, and then they'll just go to, www.boomerbaby.com, and then you'll type in a promo code. It'll say it's $29, but as soon as you type in the promo code, you'll see it's free.
And this movie isn't even out yet, so this is people. This is a preview that you can see it for free, thanks to James Irwin. He's in the studio with us today. And, he's got healthinsurance65.com. And just a minute ago, you said the pitfalls we are all kind of coming into. Tell us what are some of those pitfalls we're going to be facing and how this movie can help that.
Well, it's essentially you've got these people, and I mean, a lot of this stuff is, it's all documented. This is a documentary. So the people that are saying this are well-known authorities on the subject. So they're talking about how Social Security is going to be cut by a third. So it's explaining to you what you need to do in the future to prepare for that. That's one part of it. But it's basically telling you that you need to be careful with your 401ks and not bank on it, because it can turn into a 201k, because there's no way you can insure yourself.
Is that like cutting it in half, you're saying?
Yeah.
Is that going to happen to your 401k?
Yeah.
But James, isn't that, exactly why they were telling us 25, 30 years ago when they created them? Was you don't need to bank on Social Security, do a 401k. Now.
Right.
Right. That's getting effective.
Yeah, so there's other options, and if people are interested in those solutions, I can tell them over the phone. And send them information to their email or visit with them, or explain what you can do to safeguard yourself to eliminate that from ever happening to you, because nobody wants to end up in retirement broke, and it's, a lot of times people lose their money. Just think of the people in 2008 who were going to retire in 2010 or 2009, and then all of a sudden everything's gone. Our house isn't worth anything. This stuff happens. Stuff happens. That's why they got that bumper sticker. You know the one I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So you have to be prepared and informed on this information. And that's exactly what I do. That's what I've been doing for years and years and years and years.
People, this sounds boring, but you know what? This is life. This is what we really have to deal with here.
There's two things you don't mess with.
That's why we brought James. He's an expert at the field. Matter of fact, there's only how many? Professor, you know these numbers. How many stats? How many guys like
him? He's
a
certified senior specialist.
A little less than 3,500 in the United States that have this man's qualifications.
Mm-hmm.
Now, before we go to that, though, two things you don't mess with.
Two things you do not mess with.
Food.
A woman's money.
A woman's money.
And her chocolate.
And her children.
Her children.
Yes.
Okay.
And her money.
and her chocolate.
Okay.
And they're in that order. I'm sorry to say, kids, your money's first. But yeah, you just don't mess with that. And you know, like you're saying, the whole time having a career in the workforce, it's always like, well, first of all, the top guys want the little guys to put money in so they can pass the test and they can max it out, the 401k plan. But I just got an eye-opener probably about a month ago. I'm thinking, here I am coming up to retirement. I'll take my 401k, start cashing it in. I know I got to pay my taxes on it, but I didn't realize when I draw my Social Security, whatever's left of it, that becomes a taxable event as well. So now it's going to eat into my 401k because I don't have to pay taxes on my Social Security from my 401k. So I have to start another bucket now for tax money.
Is there a way to get around that?
Oh, absolutely. See, a lot of people...
Hold on. Did you hear what he just said? There is a way to get around that. Absolutely. That's why you got to listen, people.
You got to plan for this.
That's why you have to tune in.
You gotta
not
plan.
Tune out, tune into this. He said absolutely. Okay, James. How?
Well, I mean, essentially what's happened is a lot of people have, put money in the markets and equity funds and things like that, assuming that their tax bracket is going to be lower when they retire. And it's not. And it's actually going to be higher. I mean, does anyone really think the taxes are going to go down? I don't think anyone really thinks that now, especially with the deficit, what it is. So it's only going to get worse. So if everything that you have right now that's being created and accumulating is going to be taxed at some point, what are you going to end up? I mean, whose money really is it? It's not really your money. It's your money in the government. So there's instruments that you can roll a lot of your money into now that will eliminate it from becoming a taxable event when you withdraw it in the future.
As an advisor, James, what should be a person's first goal? In other words, when we're talking about retirement, we're talking about, in other words, what do you need to set yourself up for? What do you need to do?
You want to set yourself up to where the income that you're going to get at retirement is tax-free. That's the biggest thing, to where it can't be taxed. And they have instruments that's available for that right now. Some of those instruments, there is some talk, that maybe they won't be offered anymore, 5-6 years down the road, because they're almost too good to be true, and a lot of people don't know anything about them because it's not something that's heavily marketed, because again, it takes money out of a lot of the big financial people's pocket.
And I'm going to assume that.
I mean, do you remember? I mean, I'm probably older than you are. I don't know if anyone would remember this. Do you remember this commercial, E.F. Hutton?
Yeah, when E.F. Hutton talks, people listen.
It's not around anymore. You know why? Because that plan that he was offering, the government caught wind of it, how great it was as far as creating tax-free income, that they eliminated it.
Really?
Yeah. So
now,
there's plans like that now, not quite as good as that. I mean, the IRS has stepped in with certain codes where you can't do certain things like that anymore. But there are some fantastic options. And so when you're in retirement, you don't want to pay taxes, I guess is what I'm saying. You don't want
the question.
That's all you got.
The question I have, these certain items, and not getting into specifics, but in other words, let's say you get in it now. Is there going to be a grandfather? Or
yes.
Okay, so there is kind of some importance then of doing something while they're there.
There is, because I mean, hopefully the economy will get better, and hopefully we won't have to endure some of the things that are going on now, and be stuck with just this huge deficit and having to pay this gigantic tax bill.
Yeah.
And unless things change, that's what's going to happen. So you need to prepare for the worst and protect yourself and your loved ones from being subjected to this. So, and there's ways to do it, and they're very safe. They're very secure. They're actually, I mean, I can show people how it's safer than having money in a bank.
Safer than money in a bank.
Yeah, because of the way it's regulated and the way it's protected. But if someone would get into one of these products, and if they came out with another IRS code to eliminate, like what they did with E.F. Hutton, to eliminate some of these plans, you would be grandfathered in it. It could never be taken away.
Okay. And I know typically when they sunset certain things like this, they typically don't just simply, okay, you got to move it out. And I was just curious if that was something that, was what they're considering. And I assume when you're talking about this, these are the things that are going on in Washington, D.C., and around in the circles talking about.
Yeah, it's happening right now. I mean, it's just, and that's why if people watch this movie, The Baby Boomer Dilemma, I mean, this is a documentary, so it's no BS. I mean, this is all the truth. This is what's happening. These are government officials. These are Nobel Prize winners. These are, some of the smartest financial minds in the country talking about this in this movie. And when people watch it, I mean, they're just mystified because they just never realized, what was going on. I mean, most people plan they spend more time planning their vacation than they really do their retirement, for the most part. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's just how, that's how we are. I mean, that's how people are,
Personally, we're probably just as guilty. I look at the government, they just, they've been irresponsible. They kick the can down the road. We'll deal with it later. Well, in our daily lives, we deal with that also. I mean, the average person does the same thing. I've got time. We'll deal with that later.
Well, the other
Mommy's
thing too,
got to go to Cancun this year, right?
Yes, I will. The other thing I think too is a lot of people think you have to have a huge bucket of wealth in order to plan for retirement or do investments, but it just a little. That's what I thought. A little takes you a long way, right?
It does, and really, when I speak to them, and we just kind of rearrange things and we just kind of think it through and we get like a game plan, and I can do an analysis for them. I can show them on a computer, all these tremendous illustrations that are fun to look at, which says, well, if you do this, here's what's going to happen. If you do that, that's what's going to happen. I mean, it's very visual, but it's not costing them any more money. It's not taking any, I'm normally just using what they already have. And if it's not that much, it doesn't make any difference. It'll still benefit them in the future.
Okay, good to know.
Well, and James, veterans, you've been really instrumental in helping veterans, and a lot of bikers are veterans, and there's different products and just opportunities available to them as well.
Yeah.
And that's included in this dilemma as well, what veterans are facing and how you can help veterans. So we're talking about a dilemma, and it's the baby boomer dilemma. And James can get you a free voucher. All you got to do is call his number at 833-467-2865. This is some serious stuff, and Deb brought up a great point of our veterans. I mean, in your ad, you say, are you a veteran or know someone who is? And then it says a country that creates veterans should be prepared to care for them. I mean, that says a lot that, that's a message that you're putting out there.
Right. I mean, as a certified senior advisor, I mean, I know all the VA benefits backwards and forwards, and most people don't. And there's so many benefits, there's so many opportunities for veterans that they're just unaware of. And a lot of times, I've been on Boss Hog Radio in the morning. I've had people have called in, veterans that have, attested to this. But I mean, there's just a lot of things that I can do for them and help them. It doesn't cost them anything, but it may, it'll give them, robust coverage, whether it's dental, vision, hearing. It will give them additional benefits that they don't currently have. It won't cost them anything. And then sometimes it'll actually reduce whatever their Medicare Part B premium is now that's being deducted from their Social Security check. So a lot of veterans, they don't know about these plans. They're just unfamiliar with it, and then they're just like saying, well, I've got the VA, that's all I really need, and that's fine. I'm not trying to talk anyone into not using the VA. I'm just saying that there's ways that you can enhance what you currently have and actually gain much more and have a better lifestyle as a result of it. I mean, one of the callers from the morning show that I advertised on here for a while called in. Well, I have several of them actually, and they didn't realize that they could get transportation at no cost. And they didn't realize that they qualified for
to go
that.
to the VA back and forth, or
yeah, and they wanted actually access. He lived, a couple of these people, they lived pretty far from the VA, so they didn't know that they could have a program that could give them access to the local urgent cares and have a local doctor if they didn't want to make the trip. But if they wanted to make the trip, they could have the transportation provided for them. So they were just unaware of what was available to them. And most of them, when I talked to, everyone's kind of skeptical at first because they're like, well, how come I don't know this? And the reason you don't is you're not in the business.
Or they sit there and say, why doesn't the VA tell me about this?
Yeah.
And why don't they? But they don't.
No, they don't. They don't really, they're not really set up with the staffing to do such. So I'm a big just believer in just doing the right thing. I've always tried to do the right thing, and I've always prospered as a result of it. Even like some of the, a lot of stuff I do is really, it's no cost. It doesn't cost anything. It's kind of like, you get back what you give. So
sort of like good karma here on. Yeah. I can feel that karma right now inside the studio here. Mm-hmm. We're not at the Strawberry Festival. We're in the studio.
Yeah, no, I think that's really what it's all about, and that's what I do. And I really don't. I really can't imagine ever really retiring because work really isn't work for me. I mean, I really enjoy what I do and dealing with cohorts now that are my same age. That grew up listening to the same music.
Strawberry Alarm Clock.
Heard the same things that, we're saying the same things our kids, that, our parents said to us. And I don't know. I just really, I love what I do.
So the awesome. Opportunities for veterans, though, that isn't stuff that's available for Joe Public and Jane Public. I mean, these people serve their country, so they have additional opportunities, you're saying, benefits that they might not be aware of.
They do. Insurance companies have come out with these programs, and specifically because they've heard the public cry out loud and clear that, take care of our vets. We love our veterans, and, people remember the old Jane Fonda crap and all that stuff with Vietnam. And I think it just seems like since when I really noticed a change in the attitude towards veterans was after 9/11, everybody was just, waving the American flag, and then just so realize how eternally grateful and important the veterans are, and for, really all the people that serve in those type of, capacities of first responders and things like that. I think there's been a big tilt since then. So the insurance companies heard that loud and clear and created these products to better serve those individuals that, have essentially sacrificed everything for us.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's very good.
Yeah, I'm sure there's no veteran school that anyone sends them to so they can learn all about everything that's available to them. I bet they just all have to hunt and scoop it out.
They do, and I mean, it's it's no fun really looking into all that stuff as an individual. I mean, a lot of people, I'm not saying I'm the most fun person in the world, but most of the people that I deal with say, hey, I'm really glad I talked. I really can connect with you, and you don't seem like the typical insurance or investment type guy. You seem
geek.
Like someone
Insurance geek.
Yeah, we got to hang out at Choppertown. You're a big part of Choppertown, helping us put that together. You were there, but when you were talking to the people, I just noticed that it's almost like just real down to earth, and just trying to. I saw that. Yeah, that goodwill, actually, like almost a goodwill ambassador to help people in where they're going in their life. But you related to them, so you're a biker yourself. I mean, right. You have a couple of bikes, I know. That probably helped them too. But it's that passion, I believe, that you have, because you said it. You want to do the right thing, but you can make a difference in people's lives. I mean, not many people can just do that on when they sit down with someone and find, something that could help their future. I mean, I saw you working with the people, and you have that quality.
Well, Well, thanks for saying that. It makes me feel good, and I try. That's all.
I mean, but people, that's what I'm saying.
I'm just a real person.
That's why it's important to give James a call, especially if you're a veteran out there. If you know a veteran, if your dad's a veteran, your mom, your sister, your brother-in-law, the guy down the street, bikers are out there. And you don't just have to be a biker veteran. There's plenty of veterans out there. It's important. And that's just one aspect where James can help. And I guess the movie will do a lot for that as well. But how do you feel when you're able to, like, you hung out at Choppertown, Thunder by the Bay. What were you feeling from the people when you got a chance to talk to them or just watched what was going on in that room?
Well, I think that's why I was, got involved with y'all, with your mag and the radio station. I've always been a biker my entire life, and I've always, felt the passion that other bikers feel, the freedom that you get out there. And I think it's just, I feel like at this point in my life, I mean, I'm 62. I mean, I've dealt with every mucky duck person in the world, more or less. and
did you say mucky duck?
Yeah,
mucky duck.
You know what I'm saying? So I've been in the tall buildings with the pinstripe suits and the tassel shoes. I've lived that life, and I just really want to focus now on the people that I enjoy the most, which is the biker community. So I think that's what you're picking up there. I mean, I've had a motorcycle since I was 18. Was when I bought my first Harley.
James, we can't thank you enough for being in studio
Thank
today.
you.
Yeah.
Any last words?
No, thanks for having me on, and I hope to hear from some folks, and would appreciate the opportunity to visit with some people.
What's that number again to call you?
Well, the best number to call would be toll free, and I have an office here in Tampa. It's on top of the SunTrust building, or the Trust building now. They changed the name. It's 833-467-2865. So 833-467-2865. They can call me. We can talk on the phone. We can have an appointment. They can come by the office. I can come to their house. Whatever works.
Awesome.
You can trust James Irwin for all your life, retirement, health insurance questions or needs. 833-467-2865.
Stay connected with Born to Ride Media. Like and share with your friends on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Let us know you're out there.
Riding out into the open air. The wind rushes over your helmet. Vibrations trigger your adrenaline. Fragments of color catch your eye. Your senses embrace the power of the journey. Welcome to my world. What's yours? Your ride, your pace, your story. Let's ride this May in Tallahassee.
Gotta have it insurance. We do the work, you save the money. Biker owned and operated. Call 727-446-7735.
I've been representing accident victims for nearly a decade, and I've always wanted an office where my clients would feel comfortable and welcome. I'm attorney Fran Hosh, and I've also always been a fighter, never backing down to any insurance company or their attorneys when it comes to representing my clients' rights. Let me deal with the insurance company so you don't have to. If you've been injured in an accident, please call me at 866-LAW-FRAN or log on to lawfran.com.
Is your business becoming invisible? Create a great advertising relationship today with Born to Ride.
Born to Ride.